Hi, I'm the Gadget Guru Andy Parr, and you're watching the VOG.net. I'm here at Volusia Motorsports in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and it's now time for our first and premiere episode of Pass the Mic. Now, here's what this is. As you know, the VOG is loaded with people who have opinions, and that's welcomed on this site. But now I have 5 controversial topics here of motorcycle-related subjects that you often read about on the VOG. And I have 3 VOG members here who are going to state their opinions. Now, whether you agree or disagree with their opinions, go to the VOG forums, go to this thread, and post your opinions. And let's see whether you agree or disagree with our panelists. Now, let me introduce you to our panelists. First up, Mark. You know him online as MJW930. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Andy.
DSJR70. He's been around the VOG and Victory for a long time, has a number of bikes, and boy, does this guy have opinions.
Hi, Andy.
And finally, to get a different perspective, we have Andy from Volusia Motorsports. And by the way, let me say, that's where we are right now. Andy, thank you for your hospitality. Are you ready to play Pass the Mic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now time for our first question. Every few months, a topic surfaces on the VOG that has to do with Victory getting into the entry-level bike business. There's a lot of opinions on whether Victory should do this or not. So let's pretend for a moment that you're running Victory. Should Victory get into the entry-level bike business? I'll start by passing the mic to Mark.
Oh, thanks. Well, yeah, I think they should, and I don't particularly think that an entry-level bike is what we're talking about. I think we're just talking about a smaller bike, something that I think the magic formula is under $10,000, under 1,000 cc's, and under 500 pounds. Something that, yeah, maybe the less experienced rider, but certainly the smaller rider, the women, the younger riders could ride and afford that they can't today. And it brings people into the Victory line, and I think Victory doesn't have to sell that many motorcycles to be profitable. I think it's a no-brainer. Okay, and I guess I'll pass it to Andy.
Great, yeah, as a dealer, of course, the more Victory bikes that we could sell, the better. I do think there is a market, as Mark said, but I disagree slightly. I think there's a benefit if Victory had a 1250 cc and up, because that would count in the same sales category, and that would actually boost the market share figures if it was a 1250 cc. But certainly a lower price bike, something perhaps a little less intimidating for the new riders, although most that actually make the step to ride one find that it is manageable, as we know. So I'll pass the mic to Don.
Thanks, Andy. And I'll disagree with Andy. I think they should be more on the lines of an 800cc bike, especially now in a down economy. Getting the prices down is the way it really should be. Put more units in there, get you more service in your door. But yeah, that's about it. And if you're going to take a chance as a company, the time to do it is in a down economy, not in a good economy. I'll pass it back to Andy.
And now it's time for question number 2. When somebody's considering the purchase of a bike, what is the importance, whether it's online, at motorcycle websites, or in print? How important are motorcycle shootouts to a potential motorcycle purchaser? Motorcycle shootout being defined of when a motorcycle magazine or an online site takes, for example, 5 bikes of a similar size, characteristic, or category and pits them together. What sort of weight should a potential purchaser put on these type of magazine reviews? And I'll pass the mic to Don.
I don't put much weight into motorcycle reviews online, because if you go to motorcycle.com or a lot of the other sites, it's more pay for play anyway. So you really don't get a good review of the bike. I prefer going to forums, find out what actual people that own the bike think about the bikes. And I will pass it to Mark.
Okay, thanks. I'll disagree a little bit. I don't place a lot of weight. I'd say maybe 20%. But it is good to see the different bikes ridden by the same riders and hear what they have to say to compare them, because unless you come to an event like Bike Week or Sturgis, you really don't get that opportunity. So that's the advantage I see to it, but it's only maybe 20% of the whole decision. And I guess, Andy.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. It's a good to read other people's opinion of a bike. Nothing like riding one for yourself. Seeing a shootout is good because it really lines everything up. But power, weight, all of the luggage and storage facilities as well. So it's good to see it all on the same page. But I think there's more and more people using the forums such as the VOG to gather information from these worthy individuals here perhaps. Thanks, Andy.
And I know you meant to say you're going to pass the mic. We're going to get the name of this game show at some point. Okay, time for question number 3. Now hold on for this one. This is a tough one. The Motorcycle Safety Foundation just came out with a report that car tires should not be used on motorcycles. However, there are so many people who feel that darksiding, or the act of putting a car tire on a motorcycle, really is something that makes their motorcycle ride better, gives her longer mileage. What is your opinion on darksiding on a motorcycle? Andy?
Go with the manufacturer's recommendations for the... You wouldn't expect me to say anything else today, would you?
He's a dealer.
Pass the mic to Don.
I agree. The factory's put in a lot of engineering, R&D into what's the best tire for what bike. I don't know. I can't see putting a car tire on my bike. I'll pass it to Mark.
Well, I agree that the tire is engineered for a motorcycle. Car tire is engineered for a car. They really aren't compatible. But I'm not going to go into the camp that says, you're going to kill yourself if you put a car tire on your motorcycle. I've ridden bikes with car tires. I personally don't like it. Other people love it, and there's a lot of miles on these tires that haven't had failure, that people haven't been killed. But there's a lot of technical reasons, the sidewall, the bead, that says it's not a good thing to do, and that's what I have to go with. Well, I'll pass the mic to Andy.
And I'll receive it. The next question is probably the most controversial question you'll read about on any motorcycle forum. In fact, this question has been banned from many motorcycle forums. Are you ready for this one? What is the best oil for a Victory motorcycle? I'll pass the mic to Don.
Well, I've always been under the belief I'm going to use Victory oil until my bike's out of warranty. There are better oils out there probably, but I haven't seen an independent test result or report from any manufacturer done on a Victory. So with that, I stick with the Victory oil, and I'll pass it to Andy.
I'm going to stick with the Victory oil as well. We don't have any other recommendations to make, and I will pass the mic to Mark.
Well, if this wasn't Victory and we were talking about Harley or Honda, I'd have to come up with various brands that I think are better, but the Victory oil, in my experience, is very good oil. I really haven't found one that performs better, and to their point, it is the factory spec oil. It's a very good oil at a reasonable price. I don't see the justification to not use it. And I'll pass it back to Andy.
Okay, it's now time for our final question on Pass the Mic. Is everybody happy this is the last one?
Yes.
Okay, motorcycle riders enjoy riding in groups. One of the favorite pastimes as motorcycle riders is eating. If you're out just for a lunch run, what's your favorite restaurant to stop at with your buddies while riding? I'll pass the mic to Andy.
A British pub in Orlando.
We said eat, not drink.
Yes, we said eat, not drink. Oh, and British food's world renowned. There's some really good places out here on the coast. Could probably name you half a dozen, but we're going to try a real good one this evening, Norwoods in New Smyrna Beach. I'm passing the mic to Don.
Me personally, I like going for a longer ride and then eating, so I usually go up Leesburg area to the Hideaway, somewhere off of 19. I couldn't tell you exactly how to get there, but the food's pretty rough, but the ride's nice. And I'll pass it to Mark.
Well, from here, a nice ride is up to St. Augustine. There's a place there, I think it's R.C. White's. I'm not exactly sure. It's right on the river. That's one of our favorite places to ride. If we want to go inland, there's a place called Three Bananas. Cannot remember the name of the town. I think in Crescent, not Crescent City, but whatever. It's inland about 40 miles. And then south, Titusville area, there's the Grill, which is right on the Intercoastal where the ramp is, so you can go there, you can eat, you can drink, and you can watch the comedy act of people putting boats in and out of the water. And I'll pass it back to Andy.
Well, since we don't have any of our Canadian VOG members present in this first Pass the Mic group, I'll have to say possibly Tim Hortons. I mean, you can't say you have to stop, but I guess I'm more kind of a Waffle House guy.
A long ride, right?
That would be a long ride. Okay, Timmy's for lunch. I'm buying.
Right.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for taking part in our first Pass the Mic.
Yep.
I hope you had fun at it. Now, granted, there's some opinions here. You may agree or disagree. If you're watching this video on YouTube, go to thevog.net, check out the forums. If you're watching this video on the VOG, right here below, look down, go to the reply box. Let's hear it. For thevog.net, I'm the Gadget Guru Andy Parr, and I'll see you on the road and online.